Hi everybody and welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works this Friday. My name is Tom and I'm your Friday vlogger. Yay! This week's topic is making peace with the scale. Questions: have you? How? And what type of scale do you use? Alright, let me give you a little background real quick. First of all, 3 years out I am. 3 years ago, I had RNY gastric bypass. My highest weight was 280 pounds. Within the very first the first year and a half, I documented my weight loss journey. Every day, I used my trusty scale. Every morning, I saw my friend. His name is Conair. Conair WW. Don't ask me. Made by Conair. I bought it Fran bought it for me at Target 3 years ago. It works. I like it. I used it. And every day I documented what my weight was. First thing in the morning I would jump on my scale. And I would write it down and I could watch and see my weight just dropping. Okay, the first year was absolutely fantastic, let me tell you. It's like a non-stop woof. I mean, I went down to 165 pounds. Now, I didn't stay there. Now, within a few weeks, I went from 165 and I jumped up to 170. Within a month or two, I jumped up to 174, 175. And again, every day I'm jumping on the scale and I'm documenting this. Okay, and every day it was like, oh man, what the hell's going on? Why am I gaining weight? What am I doing? You know, like I'm exercising, you know, I'm eating right, you know, I'm not eating any junk food or anything like this. I'm not drinking any soda. None of the bad habits was I doing. Why was I gaining weight? But when my weight stabilized at 174, 175, I felt very comfortable and relaxed there. And the scale wasn't moving no more. You know, it was every day I get on the scale and it was still there. For 4 months, I get on the scale, about 4 months, the scale was still the same. So I started to leave the scale alone. You know, it was like, all right, I guess that's when I made peace with my scale. You know, it was no longer a bad thing. I was doing very well at 175 range, and I looked really good, so what more could I ask for? Well, okay, now where do I begin? I was talking about peace with the scale. Everything was good. I periodically picked up the scale just to say, hey, what do you look like today? You know, and give me a figure. Tell me what I weigh. And I would get on it, and sure enough, I was still 175. And then last year came. Last year, April 23rd of last year, weeks before the Mother of All Meet and Greets in Las Vegas, I had emergency gallbladder surgery. I went to Vegas. I was still healing when we were there last year. You know, it really mentally took a toll on me because now it's like I've lost all this weight, and in the process of losing all this weight, you know, I was feeling so much better about myself, and now I'm deformed and I look disgusting, and I had this thick, ugly scar, and it was 2 inches deep, you know, like the crease was, and I gave up. I just mentally gave up, and I gave in, and I started eating whatever I felt like eating, and I didn't care. And I'm going to tell you, I should have maintained my friendship with my scale, my Conair, because without realizing it, I gained weight. Well, not that I didn't realize it. I realized it. I just didn't know what the number was, and I didn't care what the number was when I did see it. My clothes started to feel a little snug, and I'm talking maybe about a month out of having my gallbladder surgery. My pants started to feel snug. And I knew I was gaining weight. And my first thought was, oh, don't get on the scale because you don't want to see what the number is. Weeks went by. And then finally I said, you know what, let me jump on the scale and see what it is. And I jumped on the scale, and the bitch read 180, 181. And I was like, whoa. You know, freak out mode, like, whoa, we can't have this. But then again, I was like, who cares? You know what, I did. Who cares? And I started eating all the junk food all over again. You know, I was like, I don't care anymore. You know, like, enough is enough. Like, I can't deal with any and much more bullshit. You know, like, how do you stop? So, I go ahead and I periodically would get on the scale for the past 2 months. And I'm looking at this 181, 183, 184, and you know, and then periodically again, it's like I'm looking at the scale and it's getting up to 185, and my doctor's office has recorded my weight for the past 3 months at 185. I don't know how that happened, because when I get on the scale at home, it's 183, 184, but apparently when I get into his office, I'm 185, and I'm thinking it's because I'm wearing my shoes, which I don't do in the morning when I weigh. So I'm like, all right, whatever. At least it was stable at 185. And then last week I had a revelation. And I sat here and I thought about it, and I was like, I used to document every day what my weight was on a journal. Well, it was a calendar journal. And I would know when my weight was steady, and then I could see when my weight started to go up, and then I would think to myself, what did I eat to do that? And oh, I had a couple donuts. All right, well, stop eating all donuts, no more junk food. And then I would go back to the weight that I was currently at, and I would be good to go. So, all right, I was very happy, like I said, at the 175 marker, but now it says 186. This is just last week. I thought the scale was broke. So the following morning I got on the scale again and it's 186. And I'm like, alright, I don't like the 186. Whatever, I don't care. One of those moods, you know, like, I don't care. Well, this past Sunday, I came down because now I'm bloated and I'm like, oh my God, my stomach really bothers me. Like, oh geez, 4 days of this, and I'm like, enough is enough. Like, what the hell's going on here? I go in there and I pulled out the scale. My trusty friend, Conair. And Conair said to me, well, it read to me that I was 198. That ain't happening. I said, Conair, you're going back in the corner. I put Conair right back where he belonged. I went on with my day. I said, you know what? Took me a liquid laxative. It was time to clean out the system. Okay. Now we got to work on staying away from the junk food. All right? I went back on protein shakes. Tuesday. I'm like, all right. Got on the scale Wednesday. 189. I said, no freaking way. All right. Still, I'm not giving up. I'm like, no junk food. Stopped it. Water. I even stopped drinking my Crystal Light. I'm drinking plain water this time. I didn't even do that in the beginning of my journey. I always had to have something sweetened, but now I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. I need to get this weight off, and I need to do it now. We only got, what, 20 more days or something to get to Vegas. And like, I'm going to Vegas heavier than I was last year, and I'm not proud of that. So I'm drinking nothing but water at this point. All right, I'm drinking my protein shakes morning, lunch. I'm eating a sensible dinner. And then if I crave a snack later on at night, I'm going to drink another 8-ounce protein shake. And I said, you know what? This is how I'm going to do it. I got to get back on track. And I guess it really set in when I saw the scale almost reach 200. I'm not going back. And that's why this week's topic about the scale and making peace with the scale hit home, makes sense. I get it. I had made peace with Conair, and now I have to do it all over again. because now I'm going to be faithfully weighing daily. And I'm going to tell you about weighing daily. A lot of people say do it once a week. I'm a firm believer on doing it every day. When I was on the scale every day, I was accountable and I knew what direction I was going. And I knew the direction was going up. But when it stopped, it stopped. And it stopped around 173 to 175. Because within a day's advance or a period, you can gain 5 pounds. It's all water weight. So your body's going to fluctuate 4 to 5 pounds or so. Ask your doctor will tell you the same thing. So when I would see the scale go up a few pounds and it'll drop the next day, that never concerned me. As long as I maintained around a number, and my number, my focal point was 175, 174, 175, and that's where I was comfortable and happy with. And then I gave up journaling and said, I'm good to go. And I think that's what the downfall was. You know, not right then and there. My downfall was when I had my surgery, like 9 months later, from the time I stopped journaling my weight and being friends with Mr. Conair. That's when I gave up with having my accountability at home. And that's what my scale is. My scale, Conair, is my accountability every day. So now I'm going to be focusing on Conair daily, again, to get back on track. A lot of people like to call it back to basics. I'm not calling it back to basics. I'm calling it back on track. I'm doing protein shakes. I'm doing water. I need to do this to restart and remember where I came from the very beginning of my journey. I need to relive that in order to get back to where I was. I'm now healed from my gallbladder. My scar is clearing up rather nicely after my scar revision surgery, and I'm feeling a lot better about myself at this point. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm going to get off of here because I answered the questions. Have you made peace with the scale? Yeah, I did. Now I got to do it all over again because I'm not happy with him right now, but I guess I never will. I'm thinking maybe this is a learning experience to tell me that I really need to weigh every day. And even if the scale says the same thing every day, I just need to see it every day and not give up. Because the next downfall that I have, I can be right back where I am right now. So I'm hoping to lose at least 5 pounds before I hit Vegas. That's my goal at this point. I want to at least go back down to what I weighed last year, which was 177. That's what I weighed in Vegas. I went from 175 to 177 from having my gallbladder surgery within 1 month. So that's where I want to be. I want to go back to at least the 177, and I want to be there before Vegas this year, which is just around the corner. Wish me luck. With that being said, I'm getting off of here. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.